Hi, welcome to Forex in 4. I'm Mike Conlon for FXEDU, and in the next 4 minutes, I'm going to show you the highlights of where the action is in today's Forex market. So let's get started.
Good morning. Today is Thursday, October 21st, 2010. This morning I'm talking about winners and losers. Now, if you're one of the initial 450,000 people here in the U.S. who filed a jobless claim this week, or if you're among that same number that we've been seeing weekly for about the last 6 months, then you're probably considered an economic loser, if you look at it from an economic perspective. Now, conversely, if you are a sales manager at Caterpillar, right, which is a maker of industrial equipment here in the U.S., they export a lot of their goods abroad, okay, then you might be considered a winner. All right. Now, of course, if you work on Wall Street, you're a banker, a trader, or investor, then you're most definitely considered a winner. And we're not even going to talk about what a politician in Washington is. But in any event, the disparity between economic winners and losers is growing here in this country. All right, the reason I mentioned Caterpillar is they just came out with blowout earnings. All right, and actually their revenues weren't too bad, but most of these U.S. corporate earnings that have been driving the market as of late have been coming on declining revenues. All right, so meanwhile, we've got this new normal here in the U.S. of roughly 450,000 initial jobless claims a week, give or take a few thousand. All right, and you can really see how the disparity is taking place. Now, you've got folks in Washington who really aren't doing anything about the jobs picture, and the reason they do that is because they like to incite class warfare. All right, so that nobody's really looking at what they're doing, and people are just railing against one another and not the establishment, and that's how they get to maintain their cushy lifestyle as an elected politician. So while there are policies out there that can be pursued that could put more people back to work, we're not seeing them in this country right now. That's not current government policy. All right, their logic is that if you're unemployed and having trouble making ends meet, you've now become a ward of the government, and you're not going to vote out or bite the hand that feeds you. So just remember that come November. Are you happier receiving unemployment benefits and potentially welfare, or do you want a job? I think we know the answer to most of this. So this jobless claims number, it's almost become an afterthought. I mean, on the FXCM economic calendar, all right, they rank these news events by importance, and it has gone from being a high important event to a medium important event. Now it's of low importance because this unfortunately has become the new normal. So I think it's sad that politicians have these policies out there. It's clearly wrong, but we see that corporate earnings are doing well. Stock market's higher. All right, companies are making money, but it's on declining revenues because they don't hire people or they fire people. All right, and then they're also making money selling their stuff abroad because we've got weak dollars. Now, what happens when we get a weak dollar? Well, we get inflation here in the U.S. and you have diminished purchasing power. All right, so you might look at the official figures and say, "Well, there's no inflation," but think about it next time you go to fill up your tank of gas, or you go to buy milk, or something that you really need. I mean, who cares if the price of 60-inch flat screen TVs are lower if you don't have a job? So there's really a disparity going on here that unfortunately, when we look within the U.S. economy, we can talk about winners and losers, but at the end of the day, we're all losers, and it's because of what's happening in Washington, D.C. So, if we're all losers, well, who's actually a winner? Well, the actual winner, of course, is China. All right, they just reported slightly lower than expected growth, so their quarterly GDP growth is slowing, all right, to 9.6%. All right, they've got inflation rising at the fastest pace in nearly 2 years. All right, 9.6% GDP growth. If you cut that in half, that's still nearly twice what every other industrialized nation is hoping for. So, do you think their currency is a bit undervalued? Nah, not me. But here we are, and we allow this to continue. So I don't know what's going to happen, but I can tell you this. We started out the morning with dollar strength. Now we've flipped around to dollar weakness as stocks are going higher. Well, why are stocks going higher? Well, because good corporate earnings, because they've fired enough people to make themselves profitable. All right, so we're taking a quick peek here at pound versus dollar. Okay, you can see that pound tried to gain here. It's been weak as of late. They had bad retail sales numbers came in overnight. You can see that it tested the 50% retracement level here on the 2-hour chart from a high of just over 161. All right, and if it can stay beneath there, we could potentially get a pullback down to 156.5. Just want to show you Aussie here. We can flip this to the 5-minute chart. All right, and you can see here on the 5-minute chart, Aussie was lower, okay, turned around earlier this morning, and then right here at 10 a.m. we got the U.S. Leading economic indicators figures which came out, and the Philly Fed, which must be a little bit better than expected, I'm guessing. I haven't actually seen those numbers as of yet. Okay, we've got the euro. Euro broke back above 140 here. Just look at it on the 15-minute chart. All right, back above 140, pulled back a little bit, and now we're sitting comfortably above that. We'll have to see if this thing starts to trade a range now going into this G20 meeting this weekend. All right, we've got dollar lower versus yen. All right, it looks like it's just stabilizing just above 81. Dollar was a little bit stronger versus yen earlier, but it looks like it's giving back some gains. All right, and then we've got the loonie here in Canada. Let's look here. Okay, the loonie is actually gaining a little bit back on the dollar. I want to go to the where we're going to go 2-hour chart here. Let's go to the 30-minute chart and we'll take a look. Thank you. We'll look at this back in 2 days. Okay, you can see I've got some fib levels set up here, and the loonie was trading in between the 38.2 and 50% range earlier. If it can break down 101.77, say 101.75, then we could potentially see this go a bit lower here in the day, and there's a better look. We could get down to 101.30, okay, and then possibly back down to that parity level. Now we've got this G20 meeting happening this weekend, and we don't think much is going to happen here. The powers that be have made a commitment to not go for a what are they calling it exactly? They're calling it a competitive devaluation of the respective currencies. But we're going to have to see how that plays out, because some might consider quantitative easing competitive devaluation, and if that doesn't happen here in the U.S., well, that could in fact strengthen dollar, okay, as the market's sort of been expecting that. So we're going to have to see how that plays out. And if they do go ahead and ease further, does that mean all bets are off? Because now the U.S. is labeled a manipulator. So, who knows what's going to happen this weekend? I doubt much of anything, unless, of course, China decides to share some of the wealth and fast-track their yuan gains. But, got news for you. I don't think that's going to happen anytime soon. So unless we get a change here in economic policy in the U.S., we are going to continue to be economic losers. So that's what I'm looking at today, folks. Looks like we've gone from risk, it wasn't really risk themes, trading on fundamentals, but now it looks like we're into a little bit of risk-taking mode. So good trading to all.
As always, be sure to check out the written blog at www.fxedu.com to get complete coverage of today's Forex market. If you would like to learn more about how to trade the Forex market from professionals like myself, be sure to check out our affordable Forex trading courses. And if you're already a seasoned professional or aspire to be one, ask us how we can help you achieve your Forex goals. Go to www.fxedu.com to get started today.